Here's something counterintuitive after 20 plus years of college admission consulting. One-on-one coaching alone doesn't work. Let me explain why. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Cynthia Colon, TEDx speaker, former admission officer, and author of the book, Be Committed, Get Admitted. I've worked with over 10,000 students and personally have guided over 400 private one-on-one clients. Here's something I'm going to tell you today that might be a little surprising. Even though I work one-on-one with VIP clients, I require all of those clients to take our group college essay bootcamp. Why? Because there's something magical that happens in that group setting that I kind of discovered by accident. No joke. Let me take you back to 2003. I was working at Marymount High School, an elite private girls' school here in Los Angeles, where we have a student to counselor ratio of 50-1. Now, that's a luxury. But even with that luxury, I can tell you right now, there were not enough hours in the day to sufficiently give the girls the feedback they needed on their essays for all of the essays that they needed for all of their applications. So we thought, how can we solve this problem? We decided to start an essay boot camp in the summer, but just merely thinking if we take the girls and give them these assignments to do in the summer, when they have more time, they'll get more done and they'll just be ahead of the game. Something happened that we didn't expect. First of all, everybody rushed to sign up for the camp. So we had 60 girls that very first summer, 20 for each of the weeks. So we had 20 students per week. Now we thought, okay, they're going to get ahead. But by the end of the week, the girls were finishing their essays and leaving with huge confidence. It didn't matter if they were a 3.0, a 3.5, a 4.0, or a 4.5 student. They were feeling hugely confident by the time they left, which was magic. So let me break this down because there's actually science to it. First of all, there's this theory called the social facilitation theory. It's the same reason that when I'm at Orange Theory on the treadmill and I see the person next to me is running faster, I'm inclined to work faster. So by putting the students in a classroom setting in the summer, when they see other students typing away, getting their essays done, well, you're more likely to get your work done too. It's just human nature. Second, there's a classroom effect. Now, I don't have to tell you that students have been conditioned for the last 12 years to do school. Right? So what does that mean? It means that as soon as they come into the classroom, that muscle memory goes, okay, I got to get focused. I got to get to work. You have this muscle memory that's been trained for 12 years. And so again, it's just muscle memory to come in and sit down for 5 days and do the work just like you've been doing for 12 years of your life. This seems so obvious. Now, since the days of Marymount, we have continued to do the essay bootcamp classes for many, many years. Today, our college essay bootcamps attract students from across the country. And here's what happens with group dynamics. You might come to the table in essay camp and you're like, I'm in the top 1 to 3% of my class. Or like, I'm the big dog at my school. But all of a sudden, when you're sitting around the room, literally or virtually, you see students from North Carolina, from Illinois, from Texas, from Florida, from Utah, from California, from other parts of the country. And you're like, wow, that's what real competition looks like. Yeah. As a student, when you see other students from different parts of the country, you're thinking, this is the competition. And like all of a sudden, the competition when it comes to college admissions becomes really real. And guess what? It pushes you to do even better in those 5 days just by merely being surrounded by other really motivated and ambitious students. I want you to consider this. Think about Venus Williams. Venus Williams never had to worry that she wasn't stepping up to meet her competition because literally her competition was her sister. She didn't go a day without knowing and seeing that competition creeping up on her. So the same is true in essay camp. So it's like the minor leagues before going to the major leagues, right? You get to test your skills and compare yourself to your other equally qualified counterparts. There's a saying in Spanish that goes like this: Dime con quién andas y te digo quién eres. The best English translation is, we are the average of the 5 people we keep closest to us. Again, so to use the Venus and Serena analogy, just think about that. So if you are in a classroom with other people who are just as good, if not better than you, it's always going to push you to do your best in those 5 days. And after all, isn't that the goal? To be your best? Let me tell you the truth. The real magic comes from what happens in that group, not just for the students, but for coaches as well. I'm going to be the first one to admit that I didn't realize, nor did I expect this phenomenon to happen. Now, when we first started doing essay bootcamp, we would go and every day I would read files. Like each of us back then, we were assigned to 10 students each. It was a lot of reading to do at night. But by reading a group of essays each evening, I could see if there were patterns. Were they getting the lesson? Were they making the right adjustments? Were we conveying it correctly? And as a coach, you make game time adjustments throughout the week. So each and every day I could tweak how we were delivering the message to make sure the students were going to make the improvements based on our feedback. Now, that as opposed to when I'm working one-on-one with a student, I'm only having the opportunity to read just that essay at any one given time. And so I can make the tweaks and I can make the suggestions to that one essay and hope that it's the best essay. But there's something different when I'm reading a group of essays. Not only did I start to see a pattern in looking at a group of students, like, oh, on day 2, they seem to get this thing wrong this week. But also I noticed that week after week, the same pattern happened. Again, so it made me a better coach and made me a better leader for the other coaches. And as a result, we passed that down to all of the students. So everybody benefits from group coaching, the students and the coaches as well. Again, something I did not expect to happen, but over the course of time, over the course of many years, now a couple of decades I've been doing this, I have been able to tweak and hone and really refine this 4-step essay formula. And it's like team-proofed, battle-tested, it works, and it's worked for over 10,000 students in helping them to get admitted to Ivy League and top 100 colleges. It is bulletproof. So here's the bottom line. If you are serious about trying to access top 100 colleges, don't try to do this alone. Even Olympians train with teams and train in groups to get and push themselves to be better. Therefore, they do better. Even the highest achieving students need a group setting to push themselves to a level that they have never pushed themselves to until this point. Understand this. 60 to 80% of the applicant pool to any college you're applying to, especially the top 100 colleges, they're all equally academically qualified. So what will push your child to stand out is by giving them the push they need early on to compare themselves and compete against others in a pre-setting, like in a little sandbox. Play around, test your skills, get good and get better. And that way, once you hit submit, you know and you feel fully confident that you've done your best and left it all on the field. In the comments below, I'd love to know who's pushing you to be your best. Is it a brother or sister? Is it your best friend at school? Is it your teammates? Who's pushing you to be your best? If you want to learn more about how group coaching can help you along your college journey, join us on our weekly masterclass, The 4 Questions Admission Officers Ask Before Deciding Who to Admit or Reject. So I can't wait to see you there. And until then, be sure to be committed, get admitted. Until next time, go make it a happy and sunny day. Bye for now.